Okay. In today's class, we are going to discuss about S3. The name S3, SSS. Do you know what is the meaning of SSS? And what is
Uh,
the purpose of S3 bucket?
S3 is used for storing the files.
Yeah, that's a that's one of the purpose. Okay, a main
Mm-hmm.
purpose you can say. Okay, storing the file, taking the backups. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
then after hosting a static website as well, it is also helpful for that one as well. So we'll look all three these things. Okay, couple of things, lot of things we have to cover in this one. So the S3 full form is means triple three. It follows that abbreviation, which is secure storage services. Okay, so whatever the services you are going to store, whatever the files or your data is you are going to store, that will be secure in the services. That is the promise by AWS. So in today's class, what we'll be looking for S3 versioning, how to do versioning, S3 replication, data encryption, S3 bucket policies, then S3 storage classes, logging monitor, hosting. We will host a static website, Snowfall, Snowfall family. What is this? And the storage gateway, which is again one type of S3 or storing of files or data. So it's basically AWS object storage service. And the benefit of this one, it's highly scalable, durable, and secure. The security part is fully given by the AWS. Okay, they provide in such a high security level that nobody will be able to breach that security unless you provide that access. That I will show you later on. Okay, and then stores any amount of data from anywhere. Well, there is a capacity, there is a limit, okay, that will look, but you can increase those limit by paying high amount, okay, for that service. So the abbreviation, simple storage services, okay. And the thing is, you can store any type of data, whether it is image, video, or any kind of a file that you in later on future you want to retrieve back. That's the one thing. Other thing is that it also gives you the versioning. So versioning is basically if you did some changes after few years, so the previous year changes would also be preserved if you enable versioning system. So that's how AWS works, and that's the one of the good you can say the service provided by AWS. So it's provide highly reliable, scalable object storage, making data accessible anywhere, anytime via internet. So this happens globally. Okay, you can access from anywhere. But when you will be storing your data, it should be in one region. Okay, that region you will select. Accessibility, you can access from anywhere, but the storing of the data, you have to select a particular region for that one. Great. Few more things. We store data as object. So whatever the data get stored in S3, they are known as an object. And you need to give a unique name. Why unique name? It work as a DNS system. So once a name, because they all are going to be stored in a particular in a centralized database, somewhere stored in any of the region. But since this is accessible throughout the globe, so you need to have a unique name of your bucket so that it can be easily accessible and identifiable. Otherwise, people or the data get confused in between. So that's why they go with a DNS system type of feature to enable here. So whatever the name you can give, that has to be a unique name for your bucket. It should be a region specific. I told you you can define the region. Okay. And each bucket comes with a stored as a key value pair. So whatever the object you are storing, that is get stored in the form of key value pair. Okay. Certain types of encryption data, you will get it. Where key is your object name, okay, and value is the content inside it. So whatever the name you will assign to your object, that will become a key, and whatever the content inside your object, which became a value to it. So you can see which can contain slash as well, mimicking. You can use the directory structure as well for the name of your object, or you can store any type of data content into it. Okay, so far pretty much clear. Okay. And here is the thing, the limit that is set it for is a 5 TB storage, the maximum size of single object in S3. So in single object, it means in one bucket, you can store up to 5 terabyte of data. If you want to store more, then you have to create another S3 bucket for that one. And inside this 5 terabyte, how it handles, it splits your data into 5 GB format. Okay, so it splits the file into a smaller part and upload them separately. So this is how S3 work from inside if you upload something of high terabyte size. So what it does, it replicate those into, or it segregate those files into a smaller files, and then it get uploaded separately. That's how it handles the 5 terabyte of size. Any confusion so far?
What is the object here? Like, is the
Object
meaning
is
of
the
object?
name of your bucket. If my bucket name is sky123, it became my object. Value, whatever inside that bucket. Okay, so if there are 4 files, so those 4 files became the value, whereas the object will be the name of my bucket, the bucket itself. Okay, I'll show you that one, no need to worry. So generally how it happens, you have 3 regions. Suppose I take the example of Mumbai, ABC. Okay, and you have this S3 bucket. So you can assign in either of these. These are the availability zone. Okay, so whenever you assign any region, it get stored in either of the availability zone. So it's not particular to, okay, so we, hi Sumesh.
Hi Akash.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we are basically today in this today's class, we are looking into this S3 bucket, which is basically used for storing the objects, storing the contents. Okay, whatever the file format you have, you can store in this S3. And this store file is basically get stored in either of the availability zone. Okay, region you will be deciding. Okay, but availability zone generally they decides. Whatever the comfortable one, they decide the availability zone accordingly. Okay, now let's go and let's do a hosting. Means we will look everything how it works and all. So I'll just go here and go to AWS console. Okay, so I have S3 over here, or you can simply go and search S3. You can get it S3. Yeah. Okay. So the moment you enters, it asks you to create a bucket. Okay, if you do not have any bucket created, it will ask you to create a bucket. Let's go and create a bucket. Okay, so there are 2 ways to create a bucket. See, the region is being decided US East 1, but they are not giving you the option whether it is A, B, C, availability zone. Which availability zone? You don't know. They will decide the availability zone, you will decide the region. Okay, you can change the region from here, this region would get changed. So there are 2 types of bucket, general purpose bucket and directory. Okay, so if it is one zone, it which basically means it will give you some by default configuration, but I'm not going to do this one. Let's go with the general purpose one. Original S3 bucket type. Okay,
Here for the S3, we need to select the nearest location or like the region or anything is fine.
anything is fine because
Okay.
it is accessible throughout the globe. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
in general, if you do with your own nearest region, it will be easily accessible. I mean, the lacking period, that latency would get reduced. It will be in
Mm-hmm.
millisecond a second, but if it is huge data, then you can see the difference. Otherwise, for a small data, you won't find any difference. Like I'm in India, I can select North Virginia of United States, and still I can work comfortably. You can see when I'll be able to access the data, you can easily see how much easy it is. So let's create a bucket. Let's make it my app cloud. Yes, cloud. Okay. The only thing that I have problem with that right now it will not give you the option whether this is unique or not. until unless you go at the bottom and create the bucket. So let's see. Let's see the other. Copy the existing bucket. We don't have any existing bucket, so we are not going to copy. ACL disable recommendation. Okay, all the object of this are owned by this account. Okay, if you want to give access to another account, then you enable it. But for now, I don't want to give anyone access, so I'll disable it. Then public access. Do you want the public access? Right now, I don't want, so I'll make it, let it be enabled. Then bucket versioning. So we will see this one later. So let it be disabled right now. Tags, we don't have to do tags list. And bucket key enables, okay? Basically the security key encryption, okay? It encrypts your data. That's it. Let's create a bucket. Now is it, see this bucket name, the bucket name must not contain the uppercase, okay? You need to take care of this one too. Loud, okay. And it is in valid characters, hyphen is a valid character. So we got our bucket created, okay. You can select, you can again delete it, okay. I'll go inside this bucket. Right now it is fully empty, you have nothing to store. So let's upload something, okay. Do I have anything to upload? Let me just check. Okay, I have an index.file. Let's check what is inside this one. Okay, so there is a small app which is index.html. Okay, all the HTML, JavaScript, CSS, everything is written in this one. You can separate it out or you can continue with this one. One, I'm continuing with this one. Let's see how it looks. So this is a e-commerce type of a website. Okay, you can put your objects here, everything. Okay, so this is just a small static website. Instead of this, you can put your own portfolio website. You can make your own website portfolio and you can host it over here. They are not going to charge, very minimum charge for S3 they will ask. Okay, so what I'm
Actually,
going to
sorry
do.
to interrupt.
Mhm.
Using the Copilot, what all are you efficiently able to do, like the scripting part or which part?
So Copilot is generally useful if you already have inbuilt code, okay, and
Okay.
you do not
Uh-huh.
understand this script, just copy the script
Mm-hmm.
or any file, okay,
Okay.
and ask and say here, make me understand
Mm-hmm.
this part of code. Okay, so
Okay.
they will go through your code and they will make you understand, or you directly put the location of your file.
This is the VS Code, right? The one which
Yeah,
you
this is
open now.
VS Code. Yep.
Okay, we get the option side by like the Copilot option.
You need to enable it. Okay, right
Okay.
now
Mm-hmm.
it is coming by default. I haven't enabled it yet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I was using Zen Coder. Okay, this is again one of the AI coding base. So whenever you write
Mm-hmm.
anything, na auto suggestion you
Uh-huh.
will already get what to write next.
Okay.
So good for commenting, or they actually read your profile, read all your code. So
Okay.
if you are going to script something or write anything, they will predict what you will be writing in this line. What is the most suitable line? Okay. For
Mm-hmm.
example, document dot, the moment I'll write get, it will fulfill the line by get element ID.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it works. Okay. So if you have already code base, then it is going to be helpful. But if you don't have, then use the chat GPT to make it a one, and then you can do all the modification here. Like anyone
Okay.
can take this website and make it their own and do a lot of modification, everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just closing this out. I'll go on upload, add file. File is, this is our file. Okay. Once you added the file, then you go and upload this file. Okay, we can go back to our bucket. So this bucket is your object, and this content is your value. Okay, so it's a key pair value. It's a key for this object is a key, and this is the value. Understood? If anyone asks you what is the object here, the bucket name is the object. What is the key here? The bucket name is the key. What is the value? The content inside this bucket is the value. Okay. Now you can do certain actions on this one. Okay. You can click on this one, open. See. So this is the way to open it. Okay. But in case this is single file, in case if you have multiple files, like if I would have created a separate CSS, separate JavaScript, and then if I try to open HTML or index.html, then it would have shown only index.html, because right now it is not hosted. You didn't get any URL, object URL. This is to see the application. Okay. So for that you need to for hosting your hosting your website, you have to go simply inside this one, go to properties, and at the end you will get the option of static website hosting. Right now, if you share this link with anyone, the object link that you are getting, nobody can get this one. Okay, if I share with you, you won't be able to open it. You won't get anything. Why? Because public access is denied. Okay, it is not being hosted yet. Okay, hosting is some other way, and then some other things are more there. Some policies are you have not done. So nobody can access your website right now. Only you can see what is the file. But if I want that public to see my file, then in that case I have to make it a static website. So if you see, it is being disabled right now. So I'll just go and enable it. Okay. Host a static website? Yes. If you want to redirect the request, you can do that same. Now, in your website, you can have thousands of files, but there will be a single file which is interconnected with all the file. So right now here, I have this index.html. So that interconnected file you need to write over here. I can give you the example, other example as well. If I go back and go to DevOps, Docker, and fine. See, there are a lot of files. This is a single website. Okay, I can show you. This is my own website. I built this one long before. If I go close this port, open this one. So this is a story website. Okay, that's how it looks. Now, why I wanted to show you? Because all these files are connected with index.html. This is my main file. If I go in highlight and I open this one, then it will open a separate file. But if I'll go any CSS file or YAML file, I cannot go live this file. Okay, it won't show me anything. Right now they are interconnected. That's why it's showing. What happened? Just a second. There's some network. Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, there is some internet issue. My page is visible.
We are able to see like your calendar.
Okay. Where is that S3 bucket? Shit. No worries. Even if I choose any region, I will be able to see this one. Okay. If I choose Ohio, see my app is visible from here also. So only uploading part you can do in a particular region, but accessing you can do from any region. You can see the region. In this region, I uploaded it, but I can access from any region. That's a benefit. But I'll go back to my region. So we make this one statically available. Okay. And right now, if I'll where is properties? Okay, edit, enable it, static website, index.html. Any error if you have in your file, if any error will come, this document if you want to show, you can put the name there as well. If you have any JSON or any rule and regulation, we can put all those things here. Okay. Click on save changes. Now, if you go here, see, you will get a link. I'm audible, right, guys?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So if I go and open this link, will I be able to access my website? No, I'm access denied. Why? Because I haven't given public access yet. So right now, let's go back. This one, bucket versioning, permissions. Okay. So if I go here, block public access, you can see this one is on. It means public access is denied on this bucket or whatever the content you have in your bucket. So for such case, if you want to make it live, if this is static website, you think no data is going to be breached, make it unpublic. It means unblock this one so that everyone can access it. And based on certain things, you can checkbox any of these things. If you want a particular part of your website to be not to be seen, you can checkbox block that is specific. But for now, I'm just making it I have a single one, nothing to be worried. So I'll just unblock all this and save the changes. It will ask you for confirmation. Confirm it. Okay. Let's go and again refresh this link. Am I able to access now? I'm still not be able to access. Okay. Because there is certain policies that you need to identify, I mean, define. So what are those policies? Let's see. We enable this one, unblock this one. Okay. And now you have to define certain policies. Let's go. And these policies should be in JSON format. Okay. This is a ARN number, a unique number here. So you have two things. You get a policy examples and policy generator. You can generate your policy accordingly. This is for specific services. If you have any specific services, you can create policies for that. For example, right now the policy I want to generate is for S3 bucket. So I'll click the S3. Okay. Effect allow. Okay. What does it mean? If you do AWS documentation, I'll go here. I'll click on S3. Then user guide. Okay. If you come down, you will get the option of static hosting. Okay. and setting permissions for the website access. This is what we are doing right now. So it says the first step is to block the public access setting. You need to edit this one. And we did this task, right? We unblock it. Okay. So they said unblock this check. Okay. Go to the permission under this block access, clear all the public access and choose save changes, which we did it right now. The second step that it is saying, add a bucket policy. Okay. So the bucket policy look like this. Okay. In which your principal is always be star. Star means you are allowing all the properties of your website. Okay. So I'll go to the bucket policies. Where is my policy? Here is the just type a star over here. Then in the actions, okay. Yeah. So let's see here. So we have this bucket policy, which is in the form of JSON, which basically is define who can access the data and what kind of action they can perform. Read, write, delete. Okay. These are the things you will allow him to access it. Enable fine-grained control over your security or your data. So if it is something editable document and you are giving the permission, so you should be careful. You should not use star in that situation. Okay. And then in this policy generator, you have two things, get object and put object. So put object we know. Object is our, what is our object here? Anyone? Garishma, what is object here?
Object. Yeah. Can you repeat the question once more?
What is the object here in our whole S3 bucket?
Like our file.
Your bucket name is the object. Okay.
Yeah.
Initially,
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah. Correct.
store data
Bucket
as
name is
object.
the.
Okay. Yeah. Your
Yeah,
bucket
the
name.
file. I was thinking like the data or file is the object, right?
Those will be also considered as object under the objects. Okay. But in
Mhm.
general, your bucket is your object. Okay. All the data which is inside it can be considered as object too. But if I say specifically, if you have to define in this object, since everything we are considering here as object, what is the key and what is the value? So in your object, what is the key and what is the value?
Value is the contents of the object.
Correct. And key?
Key is the name of the object.
Bucket itself.
Bucket.
Yeah. Name of the object, it means the bucket name. And the content inside that one is known as the value. Understood, Sumir? So get object means get the bucket objects, okay, whatever the objects inside it, content. Put object means whatever the object inside. So put means you have to upload it, which we done. Okay. Get object means now to retrieve and make it downloadable. Retrieve in any form you can retrieve the data and make it a downloaded as well. So in this policy format,
Actually, can
action.
you give the real-time examples of where S3 is used in the
In my own
real-time world?
organization, okay,
Okay.
in my own organization, we use S3 very minimum. Okay, we are not cloud oriented company. So in that case, we have couple of datas which we want to share with our clients, okay, over a certain region. Though there are other things, but it's company's decision based on the cost, which is the right place to share the data. Okay. And if you are going to use that data in making certain networking and stuff, we will look into one project where we will connect S3 with the VPC and all. Okay, so there you will build certain network in which the objects which are in your S3 will only be shared among your network, not outside the network. Okay, so if you want your objects or your particular certain types of data file that to be shared only among your network, then you can use this S3 object. For example, one hackathon happened in our company. So in that hackathon, at the end, we need to submit our projects. So there was one S3 bucket we have been assigned that all of you have to go and upload your objects over here. Okay, whatever the content you have, just go and upload over there. So that's the put object functionality we have been given over there. Okay, so we can go and upload it. But if in future someone wants to retrieve those data, then they will be using this get object. But so far you understood what is the purpose of S3?
Uh, yeah.
Shareable data among your particular network, among a specific network, if you want. Okay.
Yeah.
And these are also depend upon the cost. See, you have to store the data. Either you will store on premise or you will store on cloud. If you are storing on premise, you have to have that much huge amount of data center. It says not a 5 terabyte. My company is having petabyte of data. So they have a separate data centers, a room dedicated to that one. Now, what do you require in that room? Continuous power supply, continuous air conditioning, continuous maintenance, right? Along with that, whatever the hardware maintenance as well. So if these costs bearable for you, you can go for this one. Or if you don't want to take care of all these things, I will simply go and upload my data on my AWS S3 bucket. Okay, I'll show you at the end what are the amount or the magnitude of the data you can store in S3. So far you have seen 5 TB. Now I'll show you a couple of more which are more bizarre than this one. Whole data center you can upload on S3.
Like
Okay.
for Netflix or YouTube, they store the data in S3.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
But I will not say they will do 100% of their data. They separate some part of their data get stored in S3 as well, and some part they store in on their on-premise too. And they have built a certain connections where on-premise data can easily be accessed through cloud, AWS cloud, which is storage gateway, which I'll be discussing in the later of this class. Okay, so let's go. So far you got the understanding? Okay, I have made the practical scenario questions on this S3 one, which I'll be sharing with you and we'll discuss too. Okay, so you'll get more clear and cut idea how it is being used in the organization too.
Yeah.
But so far, this is the actual picture. Okay, I don't want my data
Yeah.
center to maintain by me. I will keep my data on S3. That's it. Just like a Google Drive. Okay, for organization.
Mm-hmm.
So we are here in the action. We are going to get the data. Okay, so get object, get object. Okay, this one I want to get enable. All resources, you need to provide the ARN number. ARN number, here they are giving you bucket ARN, copy here and paste it over here. Okay. If you can always refer to the documentation. Oh God, here it is. So effect we have applied, application we have given, actions we have to put S3 get object. Okay, and resource ARN we have given along with the bucket name. Now let's go here. Why it is working so slow? Internet connection unstable. Generate the policy. Okay. ARN we added. What left? Get object. Get. Here it is. S3 actions. I'll create install star actions. Get object. Okay. Yes. Oh, we need to click on add a statement. The moment you click it, it will get added. Remove the previous one. Generate policy. You will get a JSON file. Just copy the JSON file, Control C, and come here and put it over here. Control V. Till here, any confusion? Hello. Hello, guys. Any confusion? Any question?
Uh,
Yeah, am I audible? Oh, God. Make yourself unmute.
Actually, my brother's daughter is crying, so only I muted the call.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. So, any doubt, just stop me there, okay? No worries.
Yeah. Till here, it's clear on the phone.
Okay, so one thing you need to add here explicitly forward slash and star. You want to give access to whatever inside your container, which is not generated during generating this policy. And this I came to know from here, the documentation itself. So the documentation says bucket name slash star. Okay, so always remember this one. Let's go back to our bucket. Once you are done this one, go and save changes. We're done saving the changes. I'll go here and I'll refresh this one and see I'm able to access my data. If I share with you this link, you guys can access it too. Okay. So you guys can access this one as well. I made it public. So far, I think everything is clear. Okay. Please stop me whenever if you have any doubt.
May I know what is ARN?
ARN is a unique policy number. Okay. So for every policy, you will get a unique number that you need to attach while generating the policies. Okay. So that's unique. If you go here, policy. So this is the resource which says, okay. So what are the resource? What resource you are going to use? This ARN identifies uniquely. It make your S3 one, okay, and then your S3 bucket, and then you put a slash and star, which says end-to-end connection with your content of the objects. Okay, this is what resource does. So if you want to check which object it is, just go and see the ARN. Okay. A unique number. You just say, just remember it's a unique identified resource of your object. Let's continue. Let's do S3 versioning. S3 versioning basically means whenever you make any changes in your file and you upload it back again, the previous changes will remain and new changes would get on add-on and add-on above it. So you guys are with me? Hello? Hmm. guys?
Yeah.
Just say, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, good. So right now, I can't see anything apart from my file, no history and not at all, nothing version at all. So if I go here and in the properties and properties permission and version, click on this version and see the bucket versioning does not have a version enable. So first I'll enable it. I'll tell you the importance of this one. It has a huge importance. Okay. So successfully edit bucket versioning for this one. Okay. Just taking a little bit time. I'll go back here, go back to my cloud, click on this index, and now you will get a button that is show version. So right now we have not made any changes. That's why it's showing null. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this is my, where is my, not this one, cloud S3 app1. I'll open this one, this code. I'll do some changes on this file. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do some changes. Shopping cart. Let's see if, okay. Tech style. This is the name. I'm going to change the name of this one. So I'll go to tech style and I'll do one. I'll save it. Okay. If I go and check again, now you can see the title got changed. But in our app, the one that I shared with you, no changes are here. Okay. We want that changes to be seen here. So what I will do, I'll just go click on upload. I'll add file and I'll add it the same file. Okay. And then upload. Now I'll go to my bucket back again. If you see again one, okay. But if I show the version, now you can see the previous version. So if I see the latest version, if I'll go here, okay, and where is my this one? I'll refresh. See, now I can see the updated version. So whatever the changes you are making, okay, and if you can even, I'll go back here, show the version. If you delete the present one, the previous one will become the present one. Or you can simply click on this one and you can download the previous version too. Okay, in which no changes were made. So this is one of the benefit of having the versioning. And this in industry term known as patching. So what is the meaning of patching? Patching basically means if you have problem in your current running version, you will do patch. Patch means previous successful version. You will make it a live, the previous successful version, and you will see what is the issue with the current version. Okay. So this is very important to have a versioning on your S3 objects. Okay. So it will basically store. So if I do one more changes over here, instead of one, I'll do two and save it. I go back here, I'll upload, add file, and click on this one, open it, upload it. If I go back again to my cloud one and I show the version. So see, two more versions got. This is the first one, bottom was the one is the first one, then after the second one, and then after the new one. If I go and refresh my new one, I'll get the two. Any confusion in the versioning? Understood? Just say yes or no.
Yeah.
I know it would be difficult managing both. Okay, let's continue. So the next thing is the replication part. So how will you replicate? You should have a replication because anytime if anything happened to the region, which is very rare, okay, so you should have a backup ready. Okay, I know these things are very rare, but still, as an industry standard, you have to have the backup ready. So what you will be doing, what I'll be doing, I'll creating another bucket. What was the name of my bucket? Hmm, My app underscore cloud. So I'll create another bucket. Okay, my app hyphen cloud hyphen replica. Okay, everything will remain the same. I'm removing it, making the versioning enabled right now, and rest of the thing it remains same. Create the bucket. The issue. Acknowledge. So I did nothing, just created another bucket with the same name, added a postfix as replica. Okay, I'll go back to my own bucket. Okay, and then go to properties, management, go to management. You can see the replication rule. Okay, so create a rule over here, create a replication rule. Replication ID you need to give replica 321. Status enable. Okay, choose whether the rule will be enable or disable when created. Let it be enable. Okay, then you can choose the version as well. Okay, and then after choose the rule scope. Okay, apply to the all objects. Yes, whatever the object inside your bucket, just apply it on all objects. Okay. Then after you can choose the bucket. Okay, or if you have the bucket in another account, you can choose that one as well, but you have to give account ID and bucket name. So I'm going to do that. We already created one bucket, and that is a replica one where I want all my current replica to be get pasted. Great. I am create a new role. Okay, instead of the if you have any role created, choose from that, otherwise create a new role. Encryption, if you want encryption, you can do it. Yeah. Destiny storage classes, I'll tell you more about the storage classes. For that, I'll just right now I'll not do anything else and just save it. Okay, so it will ask you, it will give you a prompt. Okay, whether you want to replicate the existing object which is in your system right now, or you want to from the next time you want to create it. But I want whatever the existing object is in my bucket, just replicate all those objects. Submit, then automatically run when the job is ready. Yes. Okay, completion report. If you want to generate any kind of a report, you can go with this one. Right now I don't want to generate any report, but that helpful for the organization purpose. Create a new role. Okay, and then save it. So it's preparing right now. Just refresh it. Go back to my general purpose bucket. So I have two buckets. I'll click on this one. And okay, it might be in the preparing stage. paths. Let's do some changes. Make it 3, save it. And go back to my general purpose bucket. Let's cheat. So see, now you got the replication of your current object. So whatever the object inside my main bucket, now you can see the replica has been made and automatically given here. Not only this, all the versions as well. You can see the versions also got replicated. Why? Because I have chosen replicate the existing versions when that prompt came. So by choosing that one, this one, if this doesn't happen, sometime it does, okay, then you just go and trigger upload one more, and then it will automatically show all the updates. Okay, so that's in some case that it used to happen earlier, but now it is perfectly fine if you click on that button. Check. So that's about replication. We replicate everything. Even the version ID is also same. If you see SNC, and if I go back to my main one, there's a replica. And so the version ID SNC. Okay. So even the version ID is also remain the same. So if anything happened to your main object, your replica will be there to keep it as a backup. So that's about replication. Any confusion?
Mm,
Great. You can refer this. Okay. Let's go to the storage classes, which is again most of the questions asked from this one. Okay.
mhm.
So by default, you will get S3 standard. Why? Because if your data are frequently in use, okay, high durability, high latency, these are the facilities they provide, and that's why it is very expensive. But by default, all the data will be in S3 standard. I can show you. If I go here, I click on my file. Okay, I'll go to the properties, storage class. See, by default, it is what? It is standard. I click on here. See, there are a lot of, but by default, it is standard one. So S3 standard is selected by default. Okay, why? Because your data is frequently in use. If your data having some data with unknown or unpredictable access pattern, like any day you wake up, you access it, and again 2 days you are not accessing it, again 3 days you are accessing it. So these are unpredictable pattern of accessing the data. For in that case, you can use S3 intelligent tiering. S3 standard 1I, again, if it is more unfrequently used, okay, infrequent access is more lower than this one. In the same way, S3 zone IA, non-critical infrequently access means your data is kept there for a long time and it is not critical. Even if it is lost, it's not going to make harmful. So based on their uses, the expenses are being designed. You can even see the expenses. I'll go here. Not here. You can see, I'll just slide it. Per GB fees applied. Okay. So these are the cost, retrieval cost if you want. They provide based on your uses of the data. Okay. So S3 zone 1, then there is a S3 glacier. Archival data rarely accessed. Okay. Very low storage cost, and these are very rarely accessed. Okay. Then there is a S3 Glacier deep archive. Okay, deep archival data almost never accessed, which are kept there means it's kind of a certain keys which are kept there means kept there, no changes, nothing has been went in and no access. Okay, and S3 outpost, local storage data using the outpost. Okay, this will be locally for you, not for any globally. This will not be available on global. So depending upon the outpost, how many locals people are accessing it, Based on that, they will charge, which is very minimum. Okay. So this is all about your S3 storage classes, which is the important one, and questions asked from this section. Okay. Which data, if data are not being used, very rarely data is being used. What are the storage classes what storage class you will define for your S3 bucket? So you need to ask them, okay, several questions. How much not used means it is fully infrequent, pattern is unpredictable, like in 2-3 days kind of. Okay. So if it is like that, I can go with the S3 intelligent tiering. They'll just basically test whether you are aware of these standards or not. The people
Mhm.
who only prepare for the exam or who work in the industries basically goes through this one. Otherwise, people generally just learn how to upload the data and that's it. They don't go into this deeper section of S3. Okay, fine. Understood all this one? Any confusion in storage classes?
No.
Okay.
Can you do some scenario-based questions on S3 storage class?
Sure, sure. I have done already. Let me show you.
Mm.
Cloud S3. S3 scenario doc. I have not converted into PDF. So see, let's cover one scenario. So they are saying here, your company has been using S3 for 2 years and the monthly bill has grown to $50,000. You notice that 60% of the data hasn't been accessed in the last 6 months. Okay. Can you remember something? The one that we have just studied, storage classes, hit your mind at
Yeah.
this moment. And 30% of hasn't been accessed in over a year. The compliance team required data to be retained for 7 years. Means the data should be retained for 7 years. After that, it doesn't matter. So
Mhm.
these are the 4 possible questions you can be asked. This one is the important one. What S3 storage class would you recommend and why? They will look for your answer in this one. Okay. And data is being used. Okay. How would you optimize the storage class while maintaining the compliance? This one I'll just cover in the next one, which is the life cycle policy. Okay. And what what monitoring would you do to set up the cost saving? Okay. So S3 CloudWatch is always for cost saving. Okay. Remember, if it is about cost metrics and all, just go with S3 Cloud Watch. Uh, See, they are using a standard 1i. Transition to 1i after 30 days. This I'm just show you. And Glacier after 19 days. And Deep Archive after 365 days.
Okay.
This is the kind of a life cycle I'm going to design, which is our next topic.
Uh,
I would have,
may I know why,
yeah.
first standard and then later on that one, glacier?
Standard is the frequent one. Okay. If you are
Yeah.
using frequently now, then by default it will be in standard.
Stand.
If for 30
Uh,
days your data is not being used now, automatically it will jump to S3 intelligent area. If it is not being used for 60
okay.
days, automatically it should jump to standard 1i. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So right now I have chosen 1i and then deep glacier one and then deep glacier
Uh-huh.
archive one. So
Okay.
I'll just show you the practical, you will understand in a more better way. So I'll go to my container, sorry, my bucket, and then I'll go to the management. And you see there is a life cycle rule. Okay. Create a life cycle rule for this specific object which is inside our bucket. Okay. You need to give a uh, rule for file life. Okay. Give it a name. During the interview, you should use a name which is relevant enough. Okay. Don't use any vague name that will make your remark little low. So always use a relevant name. Then choose the life If you want to limit on one or more, or you want to apply on all the objects, I'm going to apply on all the objects. So what if, okay, transition occurrent variation, this is the rule actions. Okay, if I click on this one, what it says, append again. Yeah. So, here it is. Expire the current version of the object, permanently delete a non-current. There's some internet getting unstable. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are
Garishma, am
audible,
I
but
audible? Okay, okay.
It's getting
Yeah,
stuck,
in
but it's
between
okay.
internet gets. Okay. So this is the life cycle rule action for your versions. Okay. Right now I'm not going to apply on versions, so I'll just make it as it is. See here, this is the most important part. So standard 1i, I'm going to choose first 1i. When the data after the creation, if for 30 days it is not being used, data will be
Okay.
transferred to standard 1i. Add another transition. Then after 1i, we come to one zone. If it is not being used for 60 days, then automatically it will come to one zone. And then let's choose the glacier. Okay. Glacier fest, this is another one added, famously known as a glacier. If the data is not being touched for 90 days. So in this way, if your data is not being touched for 30 days, standard 1i and cost will be
Uh, may I know why the days you
applied
put
as
like
per the standard.
days?
Mhm.
Why did you put like
So
30
if
or
suppose I
60 like that?
store, yeah, I'm telling you. So if suppose for 30 days, your data is not being touched, automatically it will come under which storage class? Standard 1i. Okay. For 30 days, it will remain in this zone. It will wait for the 60th day since the object got created. Okay. On the 60th day, it will see does the data touched or not. If it is does not get, now come to the zone 1i. And if for 90 days data, since the data or the object got created but not being touched for 90 days, the cost will be this one. Now I could have selected in the very first for 90 days. If I just select 90 days here and I'll remove these two and I directly choose the glacier one. Now tell me, is it the same as the previous one?
No.
Why? Because for
Um,
90 days, you will be charged for standard S3 cost.
mm, mm,
But in our case, in the previous case, for 30 days only, it will charge for S3 standard. For the
yeah.
next 30
Mm-hmm.
days, it will charge for standard 1i. For the again next 30 days, one zone. And for again 90 days, it will choose based on the glacier. So amount go on reducing way. But here, suddenly your amount will be down, but for 90 days, they will continue charging for S3 standard one, S3 standard.
Okay.
Understood?
So, how can we
Hmm.
know like for the 1A, you have put like 60 days, right? Like, how can we
Mm-hmm.
know how many days to put for each of that?
It's totally depends. Okay, like the cost effective, you need to do some analysis on that one. But in general, you need to understand the pattern. It's not there is any specific rule that if it is not
Mm-hmm.
for touch for 30 days or 60 days. Okay.
Okay.
The rule is like you need to understand this use cases. Okay. So the
Mm-hmm.
pattern in both the cases, S3 standard, S3 intelligent tiering and S3 standard 1i, you can see data with unknown or unpredictable access pattern or infrequent access but quickly retrievable. So if you want the data to be quickly retrievable but not frequent access is not there, Okay. Then in that case, you need to see the features, move the data. So you need to go through all this parameter. And while selecting that one, then you have to see whether it is falling in this criteria or not. If it falls in the criteria of your data, like your based on the kind of a data you have. So if your data is like the one that I said, if it is non-critical, some image is there, Google image is there, non-critical, not frequently accessed is required, and still that data might be needed in the further future for 7 years. So you can put that data in. If it is not critical, non-frequent access, I'll put it in S3 zone 1I. Okay. So just to make ourselves more safer side, okay, we'll do like this, the way the transition I showed you. But the more perfect
Mm-hmm.
selection based on the data, you can decide and you can see which category it falls. Okay. So this research you need to do yourself. More about that one, I mentioned everything on the scenario one. Okay. So you can go through it. A lot of things you will learn.
What
And
happens
yeah,
if the data is used in the 30-day period? Like, for example, first for the
if
standard.
it is touched in 30 days, it will again remain in that one, standard
Okay.
S3.
Like for again 30 days.
For again 30 days. Yeah. It will again start for waiting for 30 days to be touched. If it is not touched
Okay.
for 30 days, it will quickly jump into the another zone.
Okay.
Okay. So like in the first scenario, the data was barely not been touched for 2 years. Okay, the company has been using S3 for 2 years and monthly bill is this one. Notice 60% of data has been crossed in the last 6 months. Okay, hasn't been accessed. Sorry, hasn't been accessed in the last 6 months. It means more than how much? 180 days. Almost 180 days. So if it is going 180 days and above, you can put in the glacier one. Okay, after 180 days, like this. Okay. All good? Understood?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, two more terminology that we have to see. S3 Snow family. Very new thing come into the
One
picture.
more
Yeah.
question I have.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
can you go to the previous question?
Sure. Question.
Uh,
Scenario one.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So in this they said that you notice that 60% of the data hasn't been accessed. Means like 40% is accessing, no? So for
Yes.
that, how to approach that question? Like,
So I showed you here that you want to apply on all the objects or limit the scope of this rule using one or more filter. So if you want to
uh-huh.
filter it, you can filter your object. You can specify your objects based on
Okay,
the tags and make it a
okay,
specific one. Okay. Based on the
okay.
sizes
Whichever
also, you
is
can,
not using,
yeah. So you can put
okay,
all those based on the tag you can put here. Okay. So
okay.
this rule will be
Which object
applied.
is not using only, we have to put the
Yeah.
rule.
Yes. So for the specific objects, you will put the rule. So in that case, you need to give objects tag while creating the object. Okay. Make it by any prefix. You can add any prefix to the object or by object size as well. Either of these three will work as long as it's able to identify the object. If it is tag, if it is prefix, or if it is a size, it will be able to identify. Okay. You need to add if minimum size. What should be the minimum size of your object? So you can maximum size, minimum size. Based on this one too, you can distinguish your objects and you can apply rules specifically on those objects. Clear? These are the filter
Yeah.
types. Great. Let's go to the snow family. So snow family is basically what they will parcel. You have certain huge amount of data in your data center physically, okay, and you want all those physical data to be transported to AWS. Now, will you sit on your system and start uploading your data, petabytes of data into AWS? Will you do that? You have a data centers, okay, huge data centers. Are you going to use wire and connection and do using the LAN network? You are going to transfer all your data through internet into AWS. It's going to be too much hectic, too much time consuming, and too much of uh, a lot of human intervention would have been required. So for that, to remove all these things, what AWS will do, AWS will send a truck into your organization. In your organization, you put all your data, physical data, into this truck, and this truck people will go into this AWS chamber and they will upload your data into their AWS S3 bucket. This is the Snow family means. The group of Snow family is a group of physical devices offered by AWS to help you to move large amount of data to the cloud. Using the internet using the internet isn't possible or practical, right? The scenario that I told you, petabyte of data uploading on somewhere is not practical. So that's why they will send some kind of a truck based on your data. They will send you the truck. Okay. Say if you have a small, they will send you a small kind of car like that. It's on them what kind of a transport logistic they will send, but your data will be taken from physically from your organization and uploaded by them. You don't have to do any hectic work. Understood? Pretty good concept, this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so this question can be asked if I have a petabyte of data in my organization and I want to put on S3 bucket. What is the correct way to do it? You can't approach and say I'll directly go and upload the files. That's not the correct way. You will use
Uh,
the
how much size of data is this?
it's totally on you. Okay. If you have terabyte, petabyte of data which you don't want to upload by yourself, you think the data is too much for me. Okay. These
Okay.
devices used when there is too much of the data to upload. From organization perspective, too much can be varied. Okay. Organization to organization, it varies. But if you think you can't upload it, okay, just use the functionality of S3 Snowball, Snow family. Understood?
Yeah.
Great. So the Snow family comes under this 3-1. The thing I told you is but kind of a vehicle will be decided based on the kind of thing you have choose. Like if you choose AWS Snowcon, a small portable device for a feature terabyte of data, then you will use Snowcon, the question that you have asked. If you have petabyte of data, you will use the Snowball. And if you have a kind of a huge massive amount of data, entire data center, if you want to move, then you will use Snowmobile. Okay. These devices, so
Mm-hmm.
they will send you a truck for this one. Okay, for Snowmobile. A massive truck sized container used for exapetabyte, which is more than the petabyte. So these devices help you to transfer the data quickly, securely, and cost effectively to AWS. Specifically, when internet speed or reliability is on stake. Okay. Understood? These three?
Yeah. Like in real time, uh, the people who
Mhm.
want to shift to the cloud does this or how?
In real time, if suppose, yeah, you're correct. If some organization were specifically on premise, and now if they see their on premise cost is increasing and increasing, so what they will do, they
Mm-hmm.
will do the cost calculation and they will find that the cloud is giving the best. They'll provide you the network and everything. So I'll go with the cloud one. If the
Okay.
maintenance is too much, you can see the Snow families here, right? Just click S3, you will get the Snow family. Okay. And the last one is the Amazon S3 storage gateway. Well, I was not about to include this one, but someone asked me question that if is there any way possible that I can have my on-premise data and
Mm-hmm.
AWS means cloud, and both are interlinked to each other. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
both are not separate. On-premise data is now interlinked with the cloud so that anyone can access the on-premise data through the cloud. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible through the S3 storage gateway. Okay, so it's a hybrid cloud storage, hybrid one. So if anyone asks you what is the hybrid cloud storage in AWS, S3 storage gateway service that connect on-premise environment to cloud storage in Amazon S3. It helps to extend the local storage, of course. You can have your physical data with you, okay, and you can get the benefit of cloud. You don't have to manage the networking by yourself, okay. So for that purpose, we use this one. So see, your on-premise data is here. You use HTTPS server connections, okay, and to access the S3 one, and other people will access your on-premise data through this AWS cloud. So they need not to again connect with VMware or VMsphere. This one, they'll directly connect to AWS cloud and they can access your on-premise data. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the end of our class. We don't have anything further. I have included, okay, there's one more slide. So these are the type of storage gateway, okay. Yeah, let's just look lastly in this one. So S3 file gateway means store and access the objects of S3. Kind of the type of the data you have, okay, you can go more detail into this one, okay. These are for the exam purpose. Just remember there are 4 type of gateway type: S3 file gateway, S3 SFX, tape gateway, and volume gateway. Okay. So more on this one, you can go here and S3 storage. Oh, where it is? Yes. Here it is. Storage gateway. Okay. The hybrid cloud storage. So there are 4 types you can see. You can choose either of them. Volume gateway. More in this one, you can go inside and look into it one. Okay. Yeah, these are very in-depth one. Very barely used, but you need to have the idea that is there any hybrid cloud that connect your local premises to get this one. Okay. That's all about of our class. Any further questions? I'll
No, I
just
don't.
stop sharing. I hope you have understood everything in this class.